Sao Paulo maintaining a league lead as we enter the final match days of the season. Will they be able to hold off Reykjavik this time, or will the Aurora manage to come back and claim another title? Sao Paulo in action today in part 1 of this match day. Reykjavik will have to wait until part 2. Hello everyone, I am Metafiction, and as I say, match day 17 out of 22, the SSL season really coming down to the wire. And as always, it is a fascinating title battle, looking like it's going to resolve down largely to União Sao Paulo and Reykjavik United, but still a little bit of time for any of the other chasing contenders to try and make a last gasp run at the top spot. It'll be very interesting to see if Sao Paulo can take advantage of playing first today, but we'll get to their match in a little bit. Right now, we start out with CF Catalunya taking on CD Tenochtitlan. It's been a little bit more successful of a season for Catalunya. They'll be looking to continue to build on their momentum. Tenochtitlan, of course, never an easy task, home or away. Some very talented soccer players on both teams, it has to be said. We've also got Tokyo and Buenos Aires a little bit later. Buenos Aires, a little bit of a middling season so far, but Tokyo SC, rare is the season when Tokyo find themselves in contention for the first overall pick, but that's exactly what we're seeing this season. Only Leafyside Celtic, who play in Part 2, have a worse record than them. We return for the moment to Barcelona, where these two mid-table sides will be looking to try and climb into the top half with a good performance today. Kickoff has happened, and it is Catalunya who start us off going right to left in the orange and yellow stripes. Excuse me, the red and yellow stripes. Red, orange, it's basically the same thing, isn't it? It's not. It's really not. In any case, cross into the box, and it's headed away by Tenochtitlan. Elliott losing out to Bamford, but the other Elliott is there to scoop it up. Menino tracking back, cross goes in. And Twinkletoes able to pull that out of the air. Long ball ultimately finding its way to Benito on the through ball to Cortista. Cortista past the back line and fires it past the keeper. And Catalunya with the first goal in less than 2 minutes. Well, it's brilliantly found by Joga Benito to find Trey Cortista making that run through the Tenochtitlan back line. An excellent passing display, in Catalunya with the lead 1-0. How will the team from Mexico City respond to that? Elliott losing out to Velstrazen Smith. And Catalunya snuffing out that attack. Now Tenochtitlan come forward again. Here's Volta. Cross from outside the area. And once again headed softly into the hands of Twinkletoes. This Catalunya team, no stranger to the bottom of the table in recent seasons, but has really picked it up noticeably this season. Still work to do to be contending with the top dogs of the SSL, but certainly a lot of cause for positive feelings in the Barcelona camp. Meanwhile, Tenochtitlan still continuing to try and build as a new organization as Cortista sends it just over the bar. Neither side really producing a huge number of shots at the moment. Catalonia with the greater value for their attacks, but here is Tenochtitlan on the corner. Ted back out to Roger. Forward to Volta. Gets the touch pass to Benito and lays it off for Elliott, whose shot is blocked. First real attack of consequence we've seen from Tenochtitlan in a bit. Comfortably their best of the match so far. We're nearing halftime. Catalonia still with their 1-0 advantage and not looking like losing it anytime soon. Ahmed loses out to Tonto Tut in the box. The referee has blown for a penalty, but we'll have to check for VAR. And VAR does give it. Well, Quartista now with a chance to double the lead. And does so. Well, you can make a case for that foul not being given at all, but for what it's worth, an excellent penalty taken. And Quartista now with 2 goals on the game. Catalonia 2, Tenochtitlan 0. Only seconds before halftime, and Catalonia threatening to make it a third. Here is Kamanova crossing in, trying to find Quartista. Catalonia losing out, still in possession though, but sent away, and that is the halftime whistle. Catalonia really taking this game, and it is 2-0 at the break. Tenochtitlan currently bereft of ideas, only 0.1 XG so far, compared to Catalonia's 1.5. Worth noting, most of that is from the penalty that gave Trey Quartista their second goal of the match. It's been all Catalonia thus far, as the Barcelona outfit have dominated possession and have some really excellent passing play to show for it. But Tenochtitlan still with a chance to claw this back in the second half. We'll have to see if they take it. Second half underway, and Tenochtitlan do kick us off in the yellow and green going right to left, but immediately losing out, and now Ahmed brings it forward for Catalonia. With an initial scramble after the kickoff, and Catalonia's attack snuffed out for the moment. They'll have another chance here. It's Bamford. Ahmed to Barr. Barr turns and shoots, and there's not enough velocity on that to get it past ball. Catalonia not content with just 2 goals, looking to try and extend their lead further. But so far, not much to report on in this second half. Here's Bamford on the throw. Going toward the center, now ducks outside. Good challenge from Patterson, and that releases Elliott on the counterattack for Tenochtitlan. Ahmed trying to pursue, and blocks the cross at the end line. Good defensive play by Catalonia. And then a bit of a suspect pass across the field, and very nearly punished for it. But Roger just offside. Would have misfired anyway. Kamanova loses out to Roger this time. And now another break for Tenochtitlan. Cross goes in from Roger. Couldn't quite find Armaros. Elliott with the recovery to Elliott. Elliott crosses in. Roger was there with the header, but beaten to it by the defender. Now De Silva to try again. Low cross at the end line. Back to Armaros, who fires wide. Some quick thinking there from Tenochtitlan presents one of their best chances to date, at least in this match, but ultimately coming away empty-handed, as now Catalonia at the edge of the box, Bamford winning a corner. Fry sends it center, and it's headed away, but only as far as Cortista. Ahmed, and a strong sliding challenge from Patterson. Another corner from Catalunya. This time it's Fry to deliver. And Ball with no trouble getting to that one. Tenochtitlan's starting to grow into this game, but might it be too little too late? Here is Tut. Shot blocked immediately by ZBS. Armaros. And Elliott losing out. But Tun nicking it off of Cortista. Now here's Elliott. Elliott shoots and Twinkletoes pushes it over. Tenochtitlan really coming alive. They do have 15 minutes with a 2-goal deficit. Anything is possible in the SSL, but not with a shot like that. That's a goal kick. Time running out for Tenochtitlan. They do have a corner, but there's less than 10 minutes now. Volta with the delivery, and it's head. Roger tries, and that header looked good, but Twinkletoes able to claim it. It was Patterson there on the end of that cross. Got it on target, but couldn't get it past the keeper. Time continues to tick away. Elliott with the corner. Headed back out. Back to Tut. Blocked immediately. Scrambled behind. And it's another corner kick. Just a little over 5 minutes left, plus added time. I doubt there will be enough for them to claw it all the way back, but once again, stranger things have happened in this league. Free kick for Catalunya. Bar went over in the box. Referee said play on. And now Volta coming forward for Tenochtitlan. Last chance saloon for Mexico City. As that pass into Tut. Shot. Sent just over by Roger. Elliott to the near post, and that's headed at the first attempt by Kawasaki. Elliott tries again. At the cross at the end line, Billy Elliott puts it away. Is it too little too late? This would be a huge comeback. It came off of this corner. Elliott tried to cross it in. It took a deflection off of a defender into Elliott. Tenochtitlan got one back, but it doesn't look like there's going to be time for a second as the referee blows for full time. It was a spirited comeback attempt in the second half for Tenochtitlan, but ultimately unable to overcome that first half deficit, courtesy of Trey Quartista. End of this match, it is Catalunya 2, Tenochtitlan 1. Certainly a valiant effort all around. A very good game, it has to be said. Quartista, of course, with the brace and the assist from Bonito. Means Catalunya will be taking the 3 points, but Johnny Elliott is your player of the match with 1 assist. And it's Billy Elliott who is able to put it away. Coming up short on this occasion, but still a valiant showing in that second half for Tenochtitlan. Next up, we move to the Nintendo, where Tokyo SC will take on Buenos Aires. To say it's been a rough season for Tokyo would be a bit of an understatement. Only a handful of points, really, on this season, especially compared to where they would be, where they would usually find themselves. It has been tough sledding all season for them. Meanwhile, Buenos Aires, a little more to the middle of the table, can't quite find a consistent vein of form They'll be looking to try and remedy that here today. Tokyo, there you see 12 points to Buenos Aires' 25. Shows you the kind of season Tokyo's had. Meanwhile, Buenos Aires will be looking to try and move a little further into the top half. Tokyo and the pink and black start us off. Greer trying to bomb down that left side. Cross in, though, deflected. It's Buenos Aires with the first corner. Ruben out to Snooks and then back. Greer tries to go for the challenge, and Snooks puts that over the bar. And Buenos Aires again in the Tokyo defensive third. O'Leary has a shot on goal, and Canders pushes it behind. Ruben again out to Snooks. Takes a touch. Now Munoz has a go, but that's over. And another corner for Buenos Aires in short order, but this time Delo gets ahead to it to try and disrupt it. Fiacre, though, forward again, Ruben. And that's sent well over. You can just see the number of defenders in that Tokyo box on those corners. One would think it would be a little less haphazard, some of these defenses, but you can't deny that it's been effective so far. Still, Buenos Aires having the majority of the attacking play as Duck crosses that, but it's sent clear by Eilish. Now here comes Ibrahimovic trying to get something going. Greer, Ron Flex into Ekholm Gunnarsson. Some patient build-up here, trying to find a way through, and they can't do it there as Ruben nicks the ball intended for Greer. Ibrahimovic tracking back as Criminal coasts around into the box, cuts it back. O'Leary, shot blocked. It's a great block by Adamu as another corner for Buenos Aires. Ruben trying to cross, but Ruben is offside. Tokyo not even with a shot yet. It is all Buenos Aires at the moment, 20 minutes in. Now here's Ruben. And the cross pushed behind again for a corner. So much pressure from the Argentine side. Snooks back out to Ruben. And Snooks takes the shot, pushed back. Ruben, second chance, puts it away. Well, you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, keep freaking trying, and that's exactly what Buenos Aires did there. Initial shot by Snooks, ricochets out, Ruben in exactly the right place to put back the rebound. And Buenos Aires now ahead on the scoreboard, 1-0. Pass to Greer, manages to get there. Now Lee. Cross goes in, trying to find a header, and it is off the head of Chambers, but it's looped into the hands of Kabiri. Still, that will register as Tokyo's first shot of the day. Pass forward to Delo from Ibrahimovic, and a good kick save by Kabiri, and it's a Tokyo corner. Greer will put this in. That's Ibrahimovic, who passes on to Delo, and that just whistles over the bar. That's not far over. Kabiri with the goal kick now. Have Tokyo started to wake up. Long ball forward, it's to O'Leary. End line, crosses in, and it falls back to the Tokyo defense. It looked like Sterling Scott was lurking, but some good center back play to deny him. Ekholm Gunnarsson loses out to Ruben on the heavy touch. O'Leary. Eilish and Superhoops in pursuit, puts the cross in, and Adamu heads it away. Duck now with another attempt. Cuts it back, and Ruben forces the block out of the defense, and it's another corner kick. Less than 5 to play before the half. Snooks, shot blocked immediately by Ron Flex, and a foul given in the box, and it's a Tokyo free kick. Tokyo will not complain, I would imagine, about a 1-0 halftime deficit, but they will have reason to complain about that as they go immediately to the referee to see if that was offside, but it will stand. It has to be said, a well-worked goal here as Criminal finding the run of O'Leary between Adamu and Ekholm Gunnarsson. Well played to make that run at exactly the right time. Let's see it again. There it is. Eilish just a little bit too far away to be able to do anything about that. And Buenos Aires taking a second goal before the half. We are trying to weave through the defense. Cuts it back to Chambers. Now forward, here's Superhoops. Superhoops tries to switch to the left foot and takes the shot, but Kabiri right in front of it. And so at the break, it is Tokyo 0, Buenos Aires 2. Tokyo have had some good shots in the latter stages of that half, but for the most part, it has been the Buenos Aires show. 12 shots, 4 of them on target, 2.1 XG. Tokyo have been unable to stop this Buenos Aires attack. And how will that goal late in the second half, or in the first half, have affected Tokyo SC? Because 1-0 at the half, you have to think, would be eminently winnable. 2-0 at the half, especially scoring so late on, just makes it that much harder. Of course, 2-0 is 2-0, no matter how it's scored, but from a mental perspective, it does make things a little harder to bear being scored on so close to the end of the half. Eilish, under pressure from Scott, finds Superhoops. Patient build-up in the back line for Tokyo. Under significant pressure from Buenos Aires here, but might have found a way out. Here is Greer. Duck trying to charge down. Cross goes in. Here's Lee. Back out to Greer. Finding Ron Flex, who had a shot, and that wasn't far wide, but can't find the way to put it on target. And that shot blocked ultimately, but here come Buenos Aires again, and this time Duck blocked by Greer on the cross. Now Ruben, out to Snooks. Now Munoz has it go from range, and that's just over the bar. Snooks pursued by Greer. Cuts it in, and it's sent well clear by Adamu. Lorenzo cutting it back to Munoz. Now all the way back to Kabiri. Here's Duck. Cross goes in from Duck, and O'Leary can't quite get the header right. Now Snooks with a go from range, and it's headed in by Sterling Scott. And will this stand? If it does, that might just end the match effectively. And the verdict is, it will not stand. Tokyo given a bit of a lifeline here as that will be chalked off for offside. It's not by much. The pass forward to O'Leary, who is the one in the wrong here. Ultimately, though, still 2-0. McManus forward to Duck. Duck trying to get around Greer and does, and it's into Sean O'Leary. And now will this one count? Referee puts a hand to the ear. And once again, the goal will not stand. Well, it's fine margins, surely. And indeed it is. O'Leary once again, only inches offside. With just a fraction more discipline, this could easily be 4-0, and Buenos Aires and Tokyo both know it. Here come Buenos Aires again, only seconds later. Duck. Back to Fiacre. Switching play, but Criminal loses out to Super Hoops, who boots it up the pitch. Ibrahimovic does chase, but needs help. Back to Super Hoops. Delo, Ron flex to Greer. Greer takes a touch and fires, and it's right at Kabiri. Greer to try again from the corner. And Kabiri once again, steady hands. Tokyo continuing to exert some pressure now. Here's Delo. Back to Lee, shot blocked. Now Buenos Aires could be on the counter here. Criminal, but Super Hoops gets to the pass before Snooks can. Tokyo now enjoying a bit of possession here, trying to build up from the back. Lee. Here's Greer. Rubin shuts down the run. Chambers over the top, finds Delo behind the line, and it's another corner kick. A great run from Amore Delo. And now another chance here for Tokyo. Greer out to Ibrahimovic. Headed back. And Ibrahimovic from distance. But that goes wide. Tokyo finally putting some chances together, but will need to try and avoid conceding again at the very least. Scott end line, and Kander is able to hold on to it. Pass cut out, but it does find Lee eventually. Now out to Greer, and once again, Rubin nearly able to shut that down. We know Greer likes to run up the sideline, but Rubin doing a great job of cutting that run off. And now Rubin making a run of their own. Pass forward, and it's Sterling Scott! And this time it will stand. And has the sun set on Tokyo winning this match? I would believe so. Rubin with a well-picked pass to Scott. And just a lethal finish from Sterling Scott in front of goal. A complete performance from Buenos Aires today, up 3-0, and deservedly so. And now here they come again. Here's Scott. We're trying to limit the damage outside. Ball goes in. It falls to Snooks, and that's right at Kanders. Buenos Aires have always looked the more likely to score, the more dangerous of these two teams. Tokyo have had some good chances in the second half, but ultimately seem unable to make any of them count. It's been that kind of season for Tokyo. Greer. And that's headed in. It looked like that might have been Delo on the header, but soft enough for Kabiri to hold on to with no trouble. And all Buenos Aires have to do now is see this out, which it looks like they will do successfully. 3 minutes of added time coming and going in a flash. Title might not be in the cards this season, but certainly a performance to be proud of for Buenos Aires. As for Tokyo, it's more of the same, really. And that is that here in Tokyo. The home team defeated by Buenos Aires, 3-0. Goals from Ruben, O'Leary, and Scott doing the damage as Buenos Aires continue to try and climb up the table. Apart from performances by Greer and Adamu, not much to write home about for Tokyo. Certainly a season that they will be keen to quickly put behind them once all's said and done. But a stellar performance, it has to be said, for Buenos Aires. Ruben is your player of the match with a goal and an assist for their trouble. Captain Sterling Scott as well as Sean O'Leary also making themselves known in the scoreline. And so Buenos Aires soundly defeating Tokyo SC as we move on to our final match of this part of Matchday 17. União Sao Paulo taking on Shanghai Dragons. Sao Paulo find themselves in a familiar position over the last few seasons, top of the table with only a few matches remaining. Unfortunately, they've never really been able to close out a league title, but will they be able to do so this time? A win here would put a little bit extra pressure on Reykjavik in part 2 of today's match day, which should be coming up fairly shortly after this one. You see the gap currently 4 points going into today's matches. União Sao Paulo will need to win in order to maintain that gap. Certainly Shanghai will not wish to make it easy for them. And so we begin gold and black for Shanghai, kicking us off right to left. Abjanic back to Voda. And Mulder intercepting that pass and drawing the foul. Tight little piece of business there for Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo, one of the dominant teams in the league, but still have yet to win a title. We'll, of course, be hoping to change that this time around. Here's Hashimoto. End-line cross. And Takeshi able to prevent that from getting through to the group. Long ball forward only finds Peixoto, and now here's Gagne. Voda with the sliding challenge. But the referee's given a penalty here. Going over to the monitor, it didn't look like a penalty from where I'm sitting, but then again, my eyesight is notoriously questionable. But the referee has indeed decreed no penalty. A clean tackle in the end. Cotswold to take the free kick here, and that whistles a little over. Had some proper fizz on it, that free kick did, but couldn't quite keep it down. A fairly quiet affair so far. Shanghai just having the edge in quantity and quality, but neither side really making too much noise so far. Sao Paulo cutting out that pass. Long ball finds Cotswold, but losing out to Jim Mathias. Long pass forward, ultimately headed down. Abjanic. Now Del Vecchio. Peixoto tries to challenge and ultimately force the block, did Sao Paulo. Now Mulder, bringing it forward on the counter. Through ball, here's Rubio. And Rubio sends it wide and was offside. Cotswold to the end line, puts the cross in. Rubio heading over. Cotswold to the Groot and back again on the throw. Nelson trying to get around Bob and shoots, and that's blocked and ultimately rebuffed. That chance comes to nothing as Takechi scoops up, and we are very near the end of the first half. Shanghai will be thrilled to have seen this out if they can, but here's Rubio trying to get to the end line, and De Groot, how is he missed from that distance? Oh my goodness. Was less than 3 feet out and claimed it off the post. Now Shanghai with a chance, but that's intercepted at the last moment by Cotswold. We'll have a minute of added time here in the first half. And Shanghai trying to work it forward again. Hohenhan off to Voda. Through ball to Hohenhan. Hohenhan, and that is a goal. Or is it? They are looking at it. But it won't stand. That would have been huge for Shanghai right at the half, but Hohenhan going just a foot offside. And so there it is at the half. It is 0-0. Sao Paulo with only one shot on target, but have had more shots as the half went on compared to Shanghai. So it will be interesting to see if they can put one in the net, or if Shanghai can spoil the party and play spoiler. Don't forget to tune in for part 2 of Matchday 17, which will feature SFV versus Leafyside Celtic, Jelahu Cosmico versus Reykjavik United, and AC Romana versus Hollywood FC. It's going to be a very interesting slate of matches, I have to say. In the meantime, though, the second half is underway here in Sao Paulo. Now a chance for Sao Paulo as Cotswold sends it just over. Head loses out to Hohenhan with good pressure there, but can't quite get around Head, who makes up for the gaff. Cotswold, long pass forward, only finds Johnson. Ken, that pass intercepted by Hashimoto. Cross at the end line for Hashimoto, headed in, Rubio loops over the bar. Time winding down. This is looking more and more like a 0-0 draw at this rate. Less than 15 to play, and Reykjavik will be relishing this result. But here is Hashimoto off the bar, put back by Julian Rubio. If it stands, that would be huge. Goal stands. Sao Paulo up 1-0 with less than 15 to play. Well, Hashimoto came in off the corner of the goal with that shot, but Rubio able to put it back. And here was the controversy, but Rubio just onside. And so Sao Paulo take control of the scoreline at long last, 1-0. Just under 12 to play, and Sao Paulo still putting pressure on. Kirkpatrick. Muller through to Gagne. Gagne brought down in the box, but the referee waves play on. Apparently a clean tackle. Now Peixoto. Hashimoto. And get around Del Vecchio and Ken. Cross goes in, and De Groot only heads that over. Sao Paulo really turning it on now in the late stages. They know 1-0 might not be safe enough. As that header loops in from Hashimoto, almost had to catch he beat, but was awake to it. Hashimoto with the corner finds De Groot at the edge of the area. Pass it back. Cross in again, intercepted by Habjanic. Shanghai trying to counter, but seemed to have been snuffed out. And De Groot getting onto that misplaced pass. Cuts it back. Mulder puts it past Takechi. And that might have just sorted this one. Sao Paulo now lead 2-0 with just under 8 to play. And Sao Paulo will have been able to relax now that they have the 2-0 lead with this little time remaining. 3 points added to their tally could mean all the difference in the world in such a close title race, especially if it goes similarly to how the last few seasons have. One last corner for Sao Paulo. More blocks from Shanghai. It's back to Rubio, and that is full time. Sao Paulo able to turn possession into victory. 2-0 the final score here in Brazil. Julian Rubio finally breaking the deadlock in the 77th minute, and Zach Mulder putting it on ice. But Hashimoto will win Player of the Match awards for an assist, and generally one of the most aggressive players all day. The biggest part of that Sao Paulo attack. It was a spirited effort from Shanghai for more than 3/4 of the match, just ultimately unable to close out a draw. And that's it for the first half of Matchday 17. Before we go, let's take a quick look at the results from this set of matches. CF Catalunya able to win 2-1 over Tenochtitlan. Buenos Aires 3-0 winners over Tokyo SC. And Sao Paulo with 3 points in their title race over Shanghai. Well, that is going to do it here for part 1 of Matchday 17. Tune in for the second part. Until then, this has been Metafiction. Take care.